Williams and Billy Crystal play concerned would-be fathers in Father's Day.
Judy Davis and Oscar winner Jeffrey Rush star in the political satire Children of the Revolution.
And 23rd century maverick Bruce Willis babysits a powerful alien in The Fifth Element.
Your son ran away? So did mine. How richly bizarre.
Robin Williams and Billy Crystal search for a son they never had and learn the value of being a father in the comedy Father's Day. One of 5 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Siskel and Ebert. I'm Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times.
And I'm Gene Siskel of the Chicago Tribune. Our first film is Father's Day, and this is a big disappointment considering the casting of 2 enormously popular stars. The setup is this. Billy Crystal and Robin Williams are collared into searching for an old girlfriend's runaway son because she tells each of them that he is the real father. Here in a totally self-indulgent scene that stops the action cold, Robin Williams imagines meeting the teenage boy in a variety of ways. These are riffs for a talk show or for the genie played in Aladdin. They don't work here in establishing a character early on in the movie.
Scotty, how you doing?
Dude, I'm your old man. I suppose you're wondering why your middle name is Rainbow.
Yo, Scott, what's up, Holmes?
You know, Scott, when I was a boy your age...
I'm your papa, your daddy, your pal.
In fact, Robin Williams never develops a credible character the way Billy Crystal does as a successful lawyer. Here is more of Williams overacting as the 2 men fly from San Francisco to Reno to search for the missing teenager.
Sir, take a big sip of this. You're all right.
Oh, thank you very much.
Lame slapstick there. Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld plays Billy Crystal's wife, but hers is a throwaway role, mostly playing the stooge for simple-minded jokes of misunderstanding, like whether her husband was showering with Williams and the drunken boy when he calls home from his hotel.
No, I'm not in the shower. He's in the shower.
And you're watching him.
Somebody call for a valet?
No.
Excuse me, I knocked, but I guess you didn't hear me. You need your suit, please?
He's so slippery.
I'll come back.
Father's Day doesn't have many laughs or relationships that work, and it didn't move me at all when it tries to get sentimental about the meaning of being a father. If you're searching for a smart, poignant comedy on the same subject, I've got a better suggestion. Rent Ron Howard's 1989 gem called Parenthood, which amazingly was scripted by the same Father's Day writers, Lowell Gantz and Babaloo Mandel. Parenthood is the real deal. Father's Day, a bad film, a lame adaptation of a French comedy that wasn't that good in the first place.
Oh, I thought it was really lame, too. I was really disappointed. I'll tell you a couple of things you didn't mention. First of all, the kid,
I tried to get
the kid that they're both chasing is completely uninteresting as a character and as an actor.
That's why I didn't even mention it.
They are chasing him through this milieu of heavy metal and punk music, and that provided comic opportunities that the movie doesn't even touch. I mean, when these 2 guys who are dressed and are obviously of a generation to be completely out of place walk into these places, nothing happens in a way that causes us to smile even. It's a really, really disappointing
I'm very
film.
surprised at the level of this picture, and you know it's going to open big because it's pre-sold with these guys in it.
People will think, oh, yeah, Billy Crystal and Robin Williams, I want to go see it. They'll walk out of the theater feeling bad, and I hate it when people feel bad after they go to a movie.
Yeah, they're getting ripped off. You like my idea about renting Parenthood instead? Isn't that a good connection?
Or maybe go see another movie in a theater. Maybe we'll have another one on this show we can recommend. My fingers are crossed. Our next movie is sort of a comedy, I guess. I don't think this will be the one, though. About some British lowlifes who make the characters in Trainspotting look relatively civilized by comparison. The movie's named Twin Town. It takes place in Swansea in Wales, and as it opens, 2 delinquent brothers who are called twins but were born 3 years apart have stolen a car and gone to visit their dad at a sports club where he's repairing the roof. First, they drive the car over the soccer pitch owned by a rich developer. From those scenes, you get an idea of Twin Town, but it's not quite a complete idea. The movie gets grimmer and grimmer and more violent, and at the same time, it develops a strange streak of whimsy. It's intended, I suppose, to do for Wales what Trainspotting did for, or to, Scotland, but it doesn't quite. It has moments when it's very perceptive about its characters, but other moments when they seem arbitrarily cruel. Not because that's how they feel, but because that's how the screenplay does.
Yeah, I like these guys. I would like to have seen them in a better picture.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of even something like Mike Leigh's Naked, for example. These characters have a reality to them. You call it a scuzzy quality.
Yeah.
They bring a reality.
Yes, they do.
That the story forces them to do things that don't make a lot of sense.
The screenplay never delivers. But now let's do a little comparative film analysis here, because we've given thumbs down to the first two movies. But you know what? I'd rather see this one again than Father's Day again, because Father's Day is essentially just brain damage.
Father's Day has no moments of reality whatsoever.
It was made with no ambition, and they weren't even trying to do something special. They were on automatic pilot. At least Absolutely. Fails nobly.
Yes, there is some level of reality in this picture, not in Father's Day. Coming up next, Bruce Willis plays a taxi driver in the 23rd century who protects a beautiful creature from outer space. The science fiction spectacular The Fifth Element is next.
Wake up. You're right. I shouldn't have done that.
That's Bruce Willis playing another one of his regular guys embroiled in extraordinary circumstances in The Fifth Element, a truly exciting and at times original science fiction adventure about what else? Combating a bad guy who threatens to control the universe. The year is 2214, and shortly after The Fifth Element opens, we follow the adventures of a beautiful, mysterious young woman who just may be some godlike force from beyond Earth. She's a stunning alien played by actress and model Milla Jovovich. The costumes in this film were created by the celebrated designer Jean-Paul Gaultier, and boy, I hope he is remembered at Oscar time.
I think we need a flying unit here.
We are processing your identification. Please put your arms up and follow our instructions.
She has no file.
She's saved from arrest by a cab driver played by Bruce Willis, who himself escapes capture in an exciting, dizzying sequence, and then takes her back to an apartment where they introduce themselves awkwardly but memorably.
What is your name? You. Corbin?
Illuminare che tare bella mina c'hai, e fatta se bat.
Good. That whole thing's your name, huh? Do you have a shorter name? Not ooh, short.
Lilu.
Lilu Corbin.
She holds the key to defeating the film's bad guy named Zorg, played by the wonderful Gary Oldman. He wants a case full of ancient stones representing the world's 4 major elements, which has been stolen by alien beings. His deal? A high-tech, high-powered weapon to trade.
A word on firepower. Titanium recharger, 3,000 round flip with bursts of 3 to 300. With the replay button, another Zorg invention, it's even easier. One shot, and replay sends every following shot to the same location.
To get the elements back into friendly hands, Bruce Willis ends up on a pleasure cruise hosted by a wacky DJ played by Chris Tucker in what I assume is a send-up of the rock star Prince. It's very funny for a while.
It was bad. It had nothing, no fire, no energy, no nothing. You know I have a show to run here, you know? And it must pop, pop, pop. So tomorrow from 5 to 7, will you please act like you have more than a 2-word vocabulary?
A little of that character goes a long way, as The Fifth Element goes full tilt in its every storyline. But I was often dazzled by the film's art direction and enjoyed the characters played by Bruce Willis and Milla Jovovich. I would follow them in any movie, and especially in this one, directed by Luc Besson, the stylish French filmmaker who proves that Americans aren't the only ones who can create action pictures with flair.
Well, I agree with you, although I don't go quite as far as you do, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I agree with everything you said about the look of this film.
Yes.
This film is like Metropolis or the Blade Runner. You can just sit there and look at the screen, at the wonderful, visionary things the Besson has given us to look at, without any regard to the plot. But unfortunately, the plot, especially at the end, loses touch.
The end is weak.
That character played by Chris Tucker, you said a little of him goes a long way. Unfortunately, there's a lot of him.
I said
and
that.
Just at the point in the movie
You wanted him to
when you
disappear.
really want the story to start paying off, he goes on and on and on, and tiresome scenes. If they would just take that stuff out and make the movie tighter and more and tauter, then it would work better. But for what it is, it's certainly
a good time.
A good time at the movies.
Yes.
Okay, fine. You're going to finish all of my sentences. That was a good time. That's a wonderful phrase. I'll try to remember that.
Okay.
Carry on.
But I mean, but it really is that. And again, Bruce Willis does this role so well. I mean, he's done it before.
Bruce Willis has spent his entire movie career in movies like this. I mean, occasionally when you see him and there hasn't been an explosion within the last 5 minutes, you wonder what went wrong with the picture.
And I think we both want to see more of Milla Jovovich.
When we come back, Dennis Leary and Joe Mantegna face off in Underworld.
No one was in.
Yours sounds worse than real. Sounds like you're trying to impress somebody with it. Sounds fake. Fakey.
And if that dialogue itself sounds fakey, not to mention like it got a failing grade in a screenwriting class, it's nothing compared to the rest of the movie. Underworld, our next film, is so awful you almost have to see it just to be sure I'm not making this up. It stars Dennis Leary and Joe Mantegna, who you saw in that first clip, as a gangster who has just gotten out of prison and a strip club owner who may have information about who killed Leary's father. What's amazing is that these two different people both seem to talk in exactly the same way. Listen.
A psychopath and a sociopath are the same exact things.
Yeah, okay. But what sounds better? Huh? Sociopath. Sociopath sounds nicer, you know, friendlier.
Now here's the scene where the Leary character tells a mobster played by Robert Costanzo how he wants his will to read. Does anyone really talk like this? Does anyone even write like this?
Well, what kids thing with Hans Christian is?
It's a kids thing that helps the kids from all around the world.
UNICEF?
Yeah. You know, with the guy who played Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, you mean Danny Kaye?
Yeah, Danny Kaye. I love him.
Danny's dead.
What?
Danny's dead. He died quite a few years ago.
He's dead?
The movie was written by Larry Bishop, who plays the gangster that the Leary character is trying to destroy. Last year he wrote, directed, and starred in Mad Dog Time, which we picked simultaneously, unanimously, as the worst film of the year. And now he's back as the screenwriter of another gangster movie, and this one is really, Gene, it's a leading candidate for worst film of this year. The formula is the same. Gangsters stand around and recite self-consciously ironic and arch dialogue, and then they kill each other. When just about everybody is dead, we get more speeches by the survivors. Watching Underworld was a grim and incredible experience.
Yeah, it's pretty dreadful. And Roger, just last week on this show, I criticized the film for being a Tarantino Pulp Fiction wannabe. Here's another. I mean, everybody's chasing the same holy grail, and they're missing it real bad. And this is another
people
example.
Don't talk like this, and even if they did, we wouldn't want to hear them. Coming up next, she was Joseph Stalin's girlfriend for a night that killed him and produced a son, maybe, in Children of the Revolution.
Our next picture is called Children of the Revolution, and it stars the fine Australian actress Judy Davis as a committed communist who, during the course of this story, has all manner of amazing adventures that describe the arc of the last 50 years of Soviet communism. As the film opens in 1953 Australia, she's headed for the Soviet Union to meet her idol Joseph Stalin. Oscar winner Jeffrey Rush from Shine plays her long-suffering boyfriend.
I'll go where I can best be used. From each according to their capacity,
To each according to their needs. Yeah, I know. Joan, I need you. I love you, and I want to marry you.
She rejects him and travels to Russia, where she is surprised to meet someone she knows, an Australian double agent played by Sam Neill.
The Australians think you're a spy for the Russians, so they want me to kill you. And the Russians have brought me over to look after you.
What are you going to do?
Frankly, Joan, it's a bit of a tangle. So, just having to make things up as I go along.
In the key element of the story, she winds up spending the night with party boss Joseph Stalin, played by F. Murray Abraham from Amadeus. And here we see him prepare for his date.
Keep pulling! Pull it!
Everything about him that night was shampooed, shined, perfumed, cut, whatever. He took 3 hours to get ready.
They have a passionate night together and produce a son who becomes a bit of a revolutionary himself in the 1970s.
Turn around, please.
Children of the Revolution has so many good elements. It's about smart people, ideologically passionate people. The cast is first-rate, and yet somehow it just left me cold. It was a surface travelogue through time and ideas, and I wanted it to be smarter and maybe not so breezy. I can't recommend Children of the Revolution.
I can't recommend it either. And you know, in the scene where Stalin is doing his song and dance routine, it occurred to me that I admire movies that try to go off the map in terms of style and tone. I mean, when they go from serious political stuff to whimsy like this, then I admire that attempt. But boy, it's hard to pull off.
Yes, it is.
And here it really doesn't. It leaves you stranded, not knowing, it's between fish and fowl. Is it a drama? Is it a political satire? Or is it a musical comedy?
I kept wanting this picture to be smarter and to actually say something, and I think the tone is all over the map.
Okay, when we come back, my video pick of the week is a gangster movie that, unlike Underworld, does work. Jack Nicholson and Jennifer Lopez are next.
The Century Plaza, offering the finest in luxury service in Southern California style, adjacent to Beverly Hills on LA's fashionable West Side. The Century Plaza Hotel and Tower, a Westin hotel.
Now it's time for our video pick of the week. I mentioned earlier on the show that Underworld was easily one of the worst movies of the year. My video pick this week is a much better crime movie named Blood and Wine, which was released in February and deserved a larger audience than it found. The movie was directed by Bob Rafelson and starred Jack Nicholson, whose most famous collaboration was the great 5 Easy Pieces. This time, Nicholson is a Florida wine dealer whose business is going broke. He needs cash fast and hooks up with a dying British jewel thief, played by Michael Caine, to steal a precious necklace from the house of some rich people.
I'd like to take a photo of the goods. Avoids any disagreement on the sale.
You got me in the picture.
Did I?
Give me the photograph.
We'll tear it up when we have the money. There's no such thing as honor among thieves. It's a myth.
What's this?
I thought it over. I can't move that. I'm on parole. I'm known. You're not. So you'll fly to New York, catch a cab, take a walk, find an address. Pas de problème, as they say in Bordeaux.
Jennifer Lopez plays the maid in the rich people's house and also Nicholson's mistress, although it gets a lot more complicated than that. After starring in this film, Selena and Anaconda, Jennifer Lopez is having a terrific year.
Is Frank around?
They are down at the boat, Mr. Gate.
Where do you want this?
These are for the voyage. Would you show him down to the boat? I'm going to put this in the wine cellar.
Sure.
She's very good, but the heart of the movie is in the shaky relationship between the two tired old pros, Nicholson and Caine. I think this is Michael Caine's best performance in the last couple of years.
I never understand your optimism. It lacks foundation.
I know him. I know how they think.
And then there were subplots involving Nicholson's wife, well played by Judy Davis, who is much better here than in the movie we just reviewed, and also a love triangle involving Lopez, not only with Nicholson, but also with his stepson. I don't know why Blood and Wine didn't find larger audiences. It has everything, and it's my video pick of the week. Now let's take another look at the movies we reviewed this week. 2 thumbs down for the meandering and pointless Father's Day, which traps Robin Williams and Billy Crystal in a dumb plot with phony emotion and not many laughs. 2 more thumbs down for Twin Town, a bloody slice of life involving cretinous Welshmen. It wants to be train spotting, but it lacks the wit. 2 thumbs up for the futuristic fantasy The Fifth Element. Although Gene liked it more than I did, we both agreed that the movie is spectacular in terms of its visual achievement. I felt the story meandered toward the end, could have used some editing. 2 enormous thumbs way down for Underworld, one of the more idiotic crime movies we've ever seen. And 2 more thumbs down for the well-meaning but unsatisfying Children of the Revolution, which tries for satire about do-gooder Australian communists deceived by Marxism, but it doesn't seem quite clear about quite what it is it wants to say. And so The Fifth Element is the standout, I think.
Yes, it is. That's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with reviews of more new movies, including the courtroom thriller Night Falls on Manhattan, starring Andy Garcia and Richard Dreyfuss, and also Love, Valor, Compassion, starring Jason Alexander and John Glover, in a film adaptation of Terrence McNally's prize-winning hit play. That's next week, and until then, the balcony is closed.
Oh, the places Cool Whip can go.
take an everyday something and send it to new heights. Ooh, the possibilities.
Introducing dress sandals from Easy Spirit. Insides are walking shoe. Outsides, all new.
Sprinkle on Scott's plant food and watch your garden grow. Pound for pound, Scott's feeds twice as many plants, making them fuller and more beautiful. That's the Scott's difference.
1-800-510-PLUS. If you're a homeowner looking to consolidate bills, First Plus is the first and only call you need to make. Call 1-800-510-PLUS.